That's my directors.
Good question on page 5. There was a 23,496 to water distribution repair. Do we know what that's from?
Yeah.
What page was that?
5.
5.
5, okay.
Water distribution would be to deal with a leak.
Well, this isn't, no, sorry,
Sorry.
the large meters.
That's not meters.
No,
There has been a couple leaks
I can
down.
look it up real quick, get back with you.
Okay. Anyone else? Hey, do I have any adjustments?
I have one.
Okay.
I have a personal property account, and this one's pretty straightforward for Baker Equipment and Material. The appraisal district gave me the wrong mailing address, so they never got the bill. And so they're asking for a waiver of 166.91, and it does fall within the statute for you to waive it.
Yeah, well, they should know they're gonna get a bill anyway, but. But okay. Do I have a motion to approve the adjustment?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Are there any changes to the consent agenda?
I have one request.
Okay.
There are 3 this is a much bigger consent agenda than we normally have, 3 of which are pertaining to the district, some importance, everything from Water Smart to district information to additional penalties. I was not at the November meeting, so could I request that item 5 be put into the regular agenda so I can vote on the remainder of items in the consent agenda?
Item 5 is the minutes.
Yeah, well, it wasn't at the meeting, so I can't, I don't want to say I'm abstaining from the entire vote on all these items.
Okay,
Let's see, so just to be clear, the minutes did not address the items on the consent agenda for today. Those are new items.
Okay, so I can vote for the consent agenda as it is. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I thought every item had to be, okay. Thank you for the clarification.
so do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to accept the consent agenda.
A second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Moving right along. Item number 13, to review and consider the approval of the district's fiscal 2024-25 draft audit report.
How doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I don't have a lot to report, really hear questions. There were some changes to the last 2 pages, 44, 45, on the board members. That I left a separate sheet up there, and I'm also going to remove Bruce from that list. He was a former director last year, but other than that, good audit, good year. Everything looks great. Our opinion is clean. And so I'll open it up for questions.
Just have a question, let's see, page 28. There's a dramatic drop in the debt repayment, 20, 30 to 31. Is this reflective of the defeasance of bond debt that we're not
Yeah.
owing as much, or how
The
does
way
that
that
work?
works is, the SGRA sold bonds, and every time they sold bonds, they would allocate the responsibility of those bonds to the various districts in
Mhm.
various years. So obviously, there's some bonds that are being paid off.
Right.
2030 that are disappearing, that you had a substantial part of.
Yeah. Yeah, going from 242 to 59 is
Right. And
thumbs up.
yeah, and how you all pay for that is, they call it lease payments. But we kind of reclassify it as principal and interest.
Yeah,
So you're correct. In 2031, your lease payments will drop substantially from 261 to roughly 66, so about 200,000 a year.
Do I have a motion to approve the draft?
So
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 14, grant exemptions from the taxation for 2026 and the adoption of a resolution in connection therewith, pages 33 and 34.
All right, this is y'all's annual consideration of exemptions. As a refresher, this district has adopted for 2025 a $10,000 over 65 and disabled and the maximum 20% residential homestead exemption. The resolution in your packet's been prepared, assuming that you would keep your exemptions the same. But if you do want to modify those for any reason, now would be the time to discuss that.
Advocate to maintain.
I would agree with that.
Motion to adopt resolution for the
I didn't
exemptions.
realize that had to do
I'll make
that.
a motion to adopt.
Have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 15, receive the regular monthly SJR Woodlands Division report.
Right. Well, good afternoon. Our report begins on page 35 and runs through 7. So if you spare you going page by page, I'll just open it up. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Or if you'd like me to go through anything, I definitely can. I wish.
I think Neil has a question.
Yeah, page 38. So we have, let's see, 5 wells that are shut in currently, not online. I'm more familiar with the term shut in, but now, if I recall correctly, the odd numbers are Jasper completions or pumping from the Jasper, and even numbers pumping from the Evangeline. Is that correct?
For like 98% of them, you're right. For all those, you're, well, what is well 3?
Well, mostly it's Jasper. Yeah, it's just down the road.
Well, 2 and 1 were the
Okay.
off ones.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is 3 of the wells will be offline for 2 years. The anniversary is coming up. I'm wondering if the water levels in those wells would provide a more accurate, or actually all 5, would provide a more accurate assessment of what the aquifer is really doing in terms of water levels,
Right.
rather than waiting for 24 to 48 hours, then coming back and doing the survey.
We provided that data in, I want to say November.
Well, you provide the graph.
For the graph, you
Yeah.
want to see the graph of just these, maybe that have been off for a year or 2?
Well, I'd like to actually have the spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you the spread. I'll give it to Eric. I'll shoot Eric the
Okay.
spreadsheet, raw data, and then.
Yeah, because
See which one.
there is, I mean, we are pumping less groundwater, right? Because we've got the blend.
Correct.
So if we're pumping less, then presumably our rate of fall in the aquifer would have slowed down. But
Except for everybody around you still pumping.
well, that's what I want to get some insight into. Because if we're not getting our aquifers recharged, then even though we're pumping less, we're going to be out of luck. And I know you've got a 10-year well plan to replace wells,
Right.
which will be unaffected because you still got, I mean, if it's still falling, we're still faced with those expenses coming up. Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I'll be very appreciative of
I
seeing
can send you all the wells if you want to see them, just.
all the wells would be even
I
better
figured.
because you do want to do comparisons.
Right, so I'll send you everything we have. I'll shoot the table over there.
Thanks, Chris.
There should be a comparison.
I hope so. Yeah, because they're not scheduled for repair until well this year and next year. So okay,
Just share the rest of the next week, so.
Yeah. thanks.
Anytime.
That it?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Anyone else have a question? Thank you. Item 16, to review and discuss the FJRA GRP Global Amendment Contract for the groundwater reduction planning, alternative water supply, and related goods and services.
Yes, in September, we heard from Aubrey and Estray talk a little bit about the settlement agreement with Conroe, and as part of that, there was going to be this global amendment that was going to be coming before us, and so now it's here. So I wanted to put that in the packet. They've asked for comments from the Woodlands Mutts by the end of February, and so we have a little bit of time, but asking the directors to read through that, give me any comments before your next meeting in February. That'll give me about a week or two to collate all the questions and get them to SJ by the end of February. So,
In your opinion, Eric, how does it look to you?
it's looks okay, but there's definitely some significant pieces of it that we need to consider. Because part of the agreement that was made with Conroe essentially allows Conroe to get out of the GRP. And this would kind of offer something similar to the other GRP members, but it has to be voted on by 85% to approve it. So it's kind of like life after Conroe, so to speak, and what that looks like. We can go into more detail, but basically right now, if there's ever an expansion of the facility, your contract says that all participants are going to pay their share. Whereas the global says something different, which is that those that are requesting additional capacity would pay, not everybody. But that's just a subtle but pretty significant change. So we need to think through that and identify how we want that, for the Woodlands. The Woodlands is one of, if not the biggest participant in terms of receiving water. So that one, and then there's a slight change to if a member wants more water or surface water, and STRA can't provide that, then this gives them the opportunity for that growth in demand to go find water elsewhere without penalty or payment.
Hasn't really well.
And that's different.
But only if SGRA can't fulfill the.
Correct.
Or if there's no connection, something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another issue because there's probably a handful of, well, there's quite a few members that don't physically receive surface water because there's not a transmission line that went to it. And that was on purpose and it made sense, back in the day when the mandate was in place. But if one of them wants more water and there's not a line to them, then they would have to contemplate getting the line to themselves. And so that might be a debate or how does that happen? Because that wouldn't be on the whole GRP to get water to a particular, participant. So those are the kind of the two big nuances. There's some minor other things, but those are the two big ones.
So Conroe was part of rewriting or writing this amendment. Is that correct?
I mean, we weren't in the room, but that's my understanding was, yes, this was part of their
settlement.
Yeah.
So it seems to me there's an entity that's being rewarded for non-payment or partial payment of water over a number of years and being forgiven penalties and interest, and then getting an additional allocation of surface water recently, which is the city of Conroe. How does that square? I mean, I know a contract is a contract till it's broken, but now we're having to come in and make adjustments in uncertain times because we know we still have a lawsuit going on or more. I don't know how many. So we don't know.
Is there a question there?
Well, would you agree or disagree that Conroe is being rewarded handsomely?
I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know.
Well, you asked him a question.
I don't know how he could comment on that.
Well, it's on my mind. If I break a contract, if somebody doesn't pay their bill, what happens? They get disconnected, right? So you know where I stand on this, without saying it.
You said it. I understand.
It's in your comment.
They're being rewarded.
And if the amendment isn't accepted,
Then it would refer back to the current contract.
Okay.
And
But
then
Conroe would be gone.
Conroe would go into essentially that same, they would get it, even if it doesn't pass. But it wouldn't go into effect for everybody else.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
send me comments.
Okay.
Item 17, consider an act on contributing to the engineering design of the Bear Branch Dam service spillway and auxiliary spillway.
That should have come off. That's,
Okay.
Was that November? Okay.
that's done.
Number 18, consider an act on the pay application number 4 for the retail wastewater collection system rehabilitation year 2.
Yes, you do have a pay estimate number 4 in the amount of $110,960, of which work done specifically in Mud 6 comes to $12,350. And so we need your authorization to pay that, your share of this pay estimate for $12,350.
Even?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
And at this stage, this is a one-time thing, not a continuum.
No, this is a project. I mean,
Yeah, if there's any estimate as to the,
well, you have your share of the overall contract was, I think, about 404,000.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of work done, probably the most of any district so far, to the tune of about 208,000 already. So about half the work of yours has already been done. So there's about another 190,000 left for Mud 6 in particular of the original $1.477 million project.
So good question on page 90. It says for Mud 6, this estimate, and there's a couple items there. So they came in below the estimate. You said 12.5 was what we were authorizing?
That's just for work being done this month, this period. Yeah, so
Yeah, also I'm just,
in this particular
Yeah.
period, they did $13,000 worth of work minus retainage of $650 brings your share to $12,350 for this particular.
Okay.
And there's been, like I said, quite a bit of work already done in the other estimates in Mud
Right.
6.
Okay. So 12,500.
12,350.
That's what we're voting on?
Yes,
Authorization 350.
which is your share of the
Okay.
110,960.
Motion to approve that.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Our attorney's report?
only item I have there is the election. So we are gearing up for the director's elections here in the Woodlands. The candidate filing period did open last week, so we do have paper copies that Shelley has of the application materials if y'all want them. Also have the materials posted on the website for folks if they want to download them directly. Candidate filing period will end on February 13th. Once that period is over, then we'll determine which districts we have contested, and then we'll coordinate with Montgomery County as we have for the last several election cycles to hold those contested elections jointly with the county, and they'll coordinate, the polling locations and workers and voting machines and what have you. So this Mud, Aaron, Neil, y'all are up.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Happy to answer questions if you have them. If not, we do need action on item number 20 to adopt the order calling the director election.
Have a motion? So moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, thank you.
Neil and Aaron, you guys are planning to re-up?
What's that?
What's that?
I'm just asking if you're going to re-up. So
Yes.
that's all.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
just asking.
Yeah.
Ready for the general manager's report?
Okay, yes, we do have a AWD conference this weekend in Houston. So I'll start Friday night and go through Saturday, and we'll be back. So that's going on. Did want to point out that back last fall in October, we did start working on some of the piping in the ditches that we had identified in your budget that needed to be addressed. So we're kind of just working through those level threes, those worst piping situations. So you'll start seeing bills on that as we go forward. And then last week, we started with some of the heavier clearing of pushing back the overgrowth into the ditches so that we can access some of these points. So that's going on as well. So you'll see more of that when we go into an area and are going to be doing some of that work, we are sending out notices to the residents in that immediate area, just to give them a heads up that there's going to be equipment and people back in the ditch behind their house, just so they kind of get a understanding of what's going on. So I just want to be, transparent and communicative to the customers.
How are you going to communicate that to them?
We've a couple ways. We have the ability to send out direct emails to the residents in a geographic location. We do that all the time for various other things. So we use that same system for notification. And then we have, with the contractor, we've given them these little information cards. So the contractor doesn't have to be answering the questions. When someone walks up to them, because that does happen, hey, here's some information on that. It's got our number, what we're doing, and we worked through the verbiage on it so that they kind of get an understanding of what's going on, and also have phone numbers or contact information to call us directly for more information if they still have questions.
Great.
Wanted to point out, it's in the trustee report, but I wanted to pull that out for a second. Just in there, you'll see that the trustees talked a little bit about the GRP and a vote. That was, and it's been in flux because the meeting happened yesterday. So last week, it was direction on how to vote on a certain topic, which is contemplating a GRP rate reduction. And the two options were 13-cent reduction as option one, and option two was 11-cent reduction with $500,000 going into the R&R fund for future O&M projects, particularly replacing the filters at the plant. So the direction that I got was to vote for that option two, which I made that motion and it passed 4-0 yesterday at the GRP meeting. So that's going forward with that. And it'll go before the SJA board, I guess tomorrow. And if that passes, then we'll see that go through. What we plan to do is on the retail, on the bills, we'll show that reduction of the 11 cents on the SWF fee, the surface water fee. And then we're going to add an additional line item that says infrastructure renewal and add the 11 cents back just to hold the bill constant at this point while we're trying to work out the details on what the wholesale rate will be to cover that first tranche of the water line renewal, which will be about 32 million or so. And so we're working with financial advisor to kind of figure out what that resultant increase potentially of the wholesale rate will be. So whether that equals 11 or less or more, and we don't want to drop it and then raise it back up. It's kind of what we're trying to avoid and just see where that falls out.
Smart.
So that's what you'll see. And with that, I have communications.
Afternoon. Right, you have your communications report on page 112. I want to start by talking about the annual update. It's that time of year again. This is last year's. And, we spent about $300 to print this and mail it out. You saw a nice return on that. Of course, we send these out electronically too, via email and social media and so forth. Your email landed with 42% of your accounts, and your paper report got to 72%. So again, I think that $300 was a good ROI there. So if you want to continue with that again this year, what I propose is, well, I'll send this to you so you have it electronically as well. And you can always find it online too on your webpage. Make your comments, your edits, whatever your thoughts are on what items you'd like to see added to this, taken away, and so forth. And then send those back to me. Okay. And then I'll consolidate those. And I would also like to work with an individual to kind of help me hone that down. Neil, you're volunteering. I appreciate it.
You did it last year too.
Yeah,
All right.
we work well.
I got your number.
Yeah.
And then we'll have that in shape for you to review at February's meeting. And then if you approve it there, we'll mail it out with the February bill at the end of the month. So it gives you a few weeks to get your comments in. And that'll still give Neil and I a little time as well before the meeting to, again, get that in good shape and then bring it to the next meeting.
Thank you.
So watch for that email. A couple other items. I wanted to celebrate the fact that Stephanie Williams, our social media specialist, has gone from 20 hours a week to full-time as of yesterday.
Right.
So really excited about the extra capacity in the communications department. Good use of her talents. And then I'm sure you've heard there's going to be a freeze
Yes.
this weekend. Looks like
Significant freeze.
slight freeze potentially Friday night, extending to a deep freeze through the weekend. I think we're getting down in the teens. It looks like maybe is it Sunday, Monday, we might not even get above 32 during the day. So we're going to be sending out lots of communication on that, e-blast, press release, social media, amendments to our homepage. Of course, we have all those tips on what to do with your home protection, your landscape protection. Online, we'll provide those tips in our communications as well. So all that will be going out here very shortly. All right, thank you.
Item 22, authorize staff to perform the 2026 water loss audit.
Yes, that is an annual report that we need to submit by March 1. So we just need authorization to put that package together.
Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
The Woodlands Water Trustees Report, item 23.
Okay, you'll find that, we've just discussed it, but starting page 116. Just a couple of items. For month 6, there's a change of plan and with the gravity conveyance project, which is, I guess, a cost benefit analysis was run or something similar.
Yeah.
And
Life cycle
life cycle
cost.
cost. And the only thing that will happen is the force main being replaced. That's going to be a big savings for the whole project, right? Because we're eliminating demolition of lift stations and extra pipes, gravity lines.
What's the recommendation to the trustees for a vote in?
March. Heads up, that's in month 6. So, and then for those interested, you might want to go to the Harris Galveston Subsidence District website to look at a report. You don't have to look at the entire report, but certainly look at the executive summary. It's subsidence impacts on flooding in the Spring Creek watershed, which is where we live. It makes interesting reading. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, any questions on the trustee report? Okay. Thank you.
We need to.
You're not.
Any matters for the future agenda? I have one, because Walt Lewinsky called me yesterday, and in their meeting, he talked about looking into the possibility of consolidation of MUD 1 and 6. He asked that we have that discussion, so I told him that I would put it on our agenda for just for discussion purposes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Adjourned.